Welcome to Patreesha's Potpourri. And I am very pleased, pleasured, happy, and just totally joyful to introduce you to a wonderful, wonderful young man. And his name is Mr. Klay S. Williams. First of all, who is Klay S. Williams? And what does the S stand for?
Well, thank you so much for allowing me to come on your show.
And welcome to Patreesha's Potpourri.
Appreciate it. So the S stands for Silas, after my father. Yeah, so Klay Silas Williams.
And who is Klay Silas Williams?
He is an entrepreneur, he's a writer, he's a son, he's a best friend. He is an artist. He is a go-getter. He is a person that visions. He motivates and he inspires.
And I can say a person that I truly enjoy spending time with you.
Oh, thank you so much.
Yes,
thank
yes.
you.
Now, I heard there's something about a Plan A, and I don't know what Plan A is. What is Plan A?
So Plan A is the discovery, it's the recognition of one's purpose and calling in life. It's kind of like the sustaining measures of the journey that you'll go on in hopes of accomplishing your dream or your Plan A. And so it's kind of like a purpose-driven life and all the variables that comes along with that.
How did the idea Plan A come about?
Okay, I guess we have time for this.
Yes, please.
Yeah, so I was in seminary at Princeton Theological Seminary, obtaining a Master of Divinity degree, and I was also working full-time at Polo Ralph Lauren across the street. And so I was obtaining this master's degree. I also was doing field education as a pastor at a Princeton United Methodist Church. And while I really kind of was not feeling spiritually I would say like evolved or like cultivated while I'm studying, theological terms and the discipline of divinity, I was able to find a spiritual haven at Ralph Lauren. Clients would come in, no one knew that I was across the street getting a Master's of Divinity degree. And so pretty soon clients would just come in not to buy anything, but just to talk to me, to ask me if they can go out for coffee and that kind of thing. And so I said to myself, there's a way in which I can nurture like my love for art and fashion and sort of like styling the exterior while nurturing the interior. This was born Plan A.
And I understand what you mean about clients coming, because I had a godfather who had a store, New York Boulevard, and people would come, walk past another store, 4 blocks extra just to come and interact with him. And sometimes it's the personality of the person that makes it an experience.
Exactly.
Yes.
Exactly.
How did you discover your purpose?
Wow. So as I said, I was working at Ralph Lauren, and when clients would come in and kind of tell me different things about, oh, this is what's happening in my life, what do you think about that? And so for me, I always tell people, as a writer and a lifestyle consultant, to kind of look back at your life and kind of comb through what have been some of your most aspirational and inspirational experiences. And for me, as long as I can remember as a young kid, I've always had this interest of studying people and kind of trying to figure out what makes them act the way that they do. Is there a way around it? How can we help improve? I've always had this innate desire to better the human condition. And so I literally just started to follow this trek, and the path just presented itself right before me. I was studying abroad in Spain, and I was working with some Baptist theologians and a bunch of immigrants who were escaping different countries because of apartheid, people who were in Spain trying to find money for their families. And it was there in that moment that I said, okay, there's something greater than myself that I want to connect with. And I want to be able to speak and help people understand who they can be.
We call that the moment of your epiphany.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, this was what it was. It was kind of like my aha moment where it was not just about me, my gifts, my talents, but something greater than myself and being able to be a part of that. And that's when I said, I have a calling on my life. We all do, but my calling in particular is to help people discover theirs.
And sometimes things happen and we don't like the way that they happen, but there's something else behind, maybe greater behind that.
Right.
And I understand that perfectly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Oh, wow. Tell me about you. Tell me something about you. I heard Princeton. Okay, tell me something about your upbringing.
So I'm the youngest of 3 from my mom and my dad. My brother, he's in Michigan. My mom is in Florida. My parents, they divorced. And so my sister is in Texas and my dad is in Michigan as well. Growing up for me in Detroit, Michigan was a really great experience. My mom and my dad, they were very hands-on parents, very instrumental in us learning different things about life. As far as chores and hobbies, my sister had to learn stereotypical, male roles, and me and my brother had to learn stereotypical female roles at the same time because they wanted to be well-rounded, people. And so growing up with that kind of nurturing to be able to be independent and do whatever you need to do, that also translated into academics, sports for my sister and brother, and then for me, my love of writing and kind of honing in some of my kind of counseling skills.
Wow. Who has been your greatest supporter?
Wow.
I know, I think you must have had so many supporters, because I can tell from your personality, people gravitate towards you. People want to do things with you or for you and support you and help you do the things that you want to do.
I kind of find them in 3 different categories. I would say, of course, like my mother and my father, my family, my sister and my brother, of course. And then the other people, I call them Plan A friends. These are people who will come along your journey when you ask a higher power, or even yourself, if you're not, a spiritual or a religious person, how can I be of service to the world? How can I use my gifts and my talents to better humanity and to better my own personal divinity? The universe sends us people in our lives who will help steer us in the right path, who will help guide us, who will want to just help us and support us in the direction that we're going in. And these are my Plan A friends. And so between my family and my Plan A friendships, that we all get this level of help, those are my greatest supporters.
Wow. What would you say to an artist, entrepreneur, second career individual, or a person interested in changing their career path? What would you say to that person?
I would tell them, no matter what age that you attempt to do this, there's always room for you to change. There's always room for you to do whatever it is that you want to do, but you have to really jump. You have to take the risk. And if you're not afraid of, you can't be afraid of what happens after you take the risk. When it comes to changing careers in terms of purpose work, being practical will never serve you. You have to do these things that you feel, that your gut feeling asks you to do, rather than these things that are maybe in a measured kind of way.
Wow. What has been your greatest lesson?
To know that where I am in life, in whatever moment, I have exactly everything that I need. That has been my recurring lesson after lesson after lesson. When I first came to New York, I did the whole homeless in New York thing. I called a bunch of friends and said, hey, I'm coming. And I told my parents, I told my parents, because I was visiting for a long period of time after grad school, I told them the day before I was leaving, packed my car up, and I just did couch surf between New Jersey and New York, and just stayed on different friends' couch and things like that. And that same lesson about knowing that I am exactly where I need to be and I have everything. And I had $500 when I came. But that was such a recurring lesson as the years were going on, as I'm trying to build this message of Plan A, build my company, build my client base, and kind of discover who I am, you know, as a person. But understanding that no matter where you are in life, the universe gives you everything that you need.
You made a reference to your company. Tell me about your company.
So I'm a lifestyle consultant, and what that is, I specialize in 3 different areas. I specialize in the spiritual or intuitive progression of the self, assisting clients with closing the gap between their past and their present in order to attain their plan A, in order to attain the dream of their future. And so I work with people in some of the most unconventional settings. I meet clients in bars and parks and Juilliard at the Met, you know, wherever it's conducive for them, and help them kind of figure out what is some of that residue that's preventing them from being, first of all, who they want to be, you know, and second of all, who they've been called to be. And so it's kind of like a past, I won't say regression, but past work and a lot of intuitive work and counseling and coaching so that we can get to the idea of being able to not only discover our purpose, but live that out.
I see you like a therapist and helping you get past, to help you get past your blockage.
Yeah,
If there's something that's blocking you to achieve the goal in which you want, you are there to push them forward.
Absolutely.
And sometimes you do not have the family or the friends, do not have the knowledge to help push you in the right direction. Boy, I surely needed you a month ago. Okay, really?
And I think the great thing about a lifestyle consultant or a life coach, if you choose to use that language, is we're not like therapists or psychologists. You know, you're not coming to sit on the couch. Like with me, you have homework every day. You have exercises. I fire clients who don't do their work. Like, this is a boot camp about you really investing. And you tell me, if you come to me and you say, this is who I want to be, this is who I am, this is where I've been, help me close that gap so that I can move on with my life and be the very best person I possibly can be, then you have to do that in action. And if you don't do it in action, I fire you.
I love it. I call you a life coach.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh. Do we all need to pursue our plan A's in order to be happy?
No. And I think that's a big misconception with so many different coaches and just speakers out there today. There are people who are not interested in pursuing their purpose or their plan A. They're just kind of going throughout life. And their life may be good. You know, it may be great for them. But I always say that there is something fundamentally that you will miss. The essence of your spirit cannot fully reach its pivotal point. You know, you can never really connect with something greater than yourself or beyond yourself if you do not seek out your purpose.
Wow. What is your greatest success story in regards to your clientele?
I would say one of my clients who've actually become a really good friend of mine, Holly, she is a opera singer. And one of her vocal coaches came to her and said, you kind of need a life coach, a psychologist or something, because in the vocal trainings, he was saying to her, your voice sounds great, but there's something that's preventing you from being amazing, and it's inside of you. He was able to pinpoint that and say that to her. And so I ended up meeting her at a party, New Year's Eve gathering, and we worked together. Her mother had just passed, a best friend had just passed too, like a couple of months within each other, and that's a lot with trying to manage a career and so forth, especially moving to New York. And so we worked together. She selected one of my packages, and pretty soon she had that leading role that she was interested in at the Met.
Wow. What do you want people to understand about pursuing Plan A? And just kind of go over again, what is Plan A?
Right, so Plan A for me, it's the discovery of your purpose in life. It's a lifestyle. You know, it's the decisions you make from a emotional, mental, physical, and spiritual standpoint. It really is you being the very best person you can possibly be in every area of human endeavor. You know, it's you rising to the highest, you know, pivotal point of who you choose to be.
Wow. What do you say to individuals who are scared to pursue their plan A's because of finances?
When I was first coming to New York, I'll never forget this story. I had a really great friend. She's still a good friend of mine, Inger Parker. I was just offered a job at Tom Ford, the flagship store before it even opened. It was 6 of us, and I was the last.
Tell us what Tom Ford is.
It's a men's luxury company, clothing company. And before they even opened, and so I was the last person they were getting ready to hire. And I was sitting on her couch, and she just kept telling me, "You don't seem sold on this. Something doesn't seem kind of right about this." And I said, "Well, the money's okay. Seems like a great opportunity, but I know that there's something greater that I want to do beyond just fashion." And I just left, Ralph Lauren, and I knew I wanted to do something more. How could I kind of juxtapose my love for fashion with that of, spirituality and putting these things together? And I then took that risk, in order to do that. And the number one thing that scared me was not having the money. I literally came to New York with that $500 with friends' couches to sleep on and the support of my Plan A friends and family. But what I tell people is you have to get to a point where your desire to persevere, your desire to reach the highest part of yourself is greater than the necessity of money.
And the thing is, people are afraid to take a risk.
Oh, yeah.
Security versus risk.
But there's no such thing as security. And I tell clients all the time, any day now, I could walk across, knock on wood, anyone can walk across the street, you can get hit. Your whole life could end. You're hoarding all this money with this closed fist, walking around with these, limiting your resources instead of giving and sharing and trying to prevent this or that. I'm going to try to live in this bubble. Life is not like that at all for people who are faithful to, the life that they choose, the life that they want to have. And so while money is a real issue, it absolutely is, you have to kind of dig deep and kind of put your big boy and big girl, panties and, underwear on to say, is my faith in action deeper?
And, like you said, anything can happen. Because I remember going to college and during my college time, and they used to have a slogan, S happens. And I never really understood that. And now I understood because, and when I took Grimm's Fairy Tale course, an extraneous force will come out of the blue and kill your whole plan.
Right. And even that is a part of your plan A, because a lot of time it's maybe that whisper, it's that, that wind's coming, trying to wake you up, trying to get you out of that confine or that silo that you have pinned yourself into, saying, all right, there is something greater, try this, try that, and a lot of times people will go to their grave not even trying that, but we always get these whispers, we get these things where life is trying to ask us to do something deeper, go higher.
You know what? The worst words that I think a person can have on their deathbed is, I wish I had.
Yeah.
I wish I had tried. I wish I had done this.
Yeah, and I've heard that a couple of times from clients, friends, and family. Yeah, definitely a regret.
What do you know to be true based on your experiences?
That grace, gratitude, and love is sufficient. That's kind of all that we need in order to get to the next level or whatever career goal, relationship goal, financial goal that we have in life.
What do you say to individuals who are scared to purchase their Plan A because of finances?
I would tell them, if you're limiting, the universe, if you're limiting yourself and putting both of these entities into a box, you're confining, you're already telling, God or the universe, you're too small to match the financial need that I have. And I'm bigger, I'm greater. And we know we can't really fully do anything without that connection that the universe brings to us. And so I tell people, if you are, if you're thinking finances is that spot that's going to prevent you from moving forward, you are limiting not only yourself, but you're limiting God and your experience of the universe.
How does God, the universe, speak to us?
All in different ways. I think it's being quiet, channeling, just solitude, in whatever space that is, allowing the universe to speak to you. And for me, it speaks to me in through communication with friends, through whispers, or through gut feeling. And a lot of it we call our intuitive, brain, or our gut feeling. And God speaks to us in a way where we're settled with our decisions. And however that is for that person, that's how you know the universe is in communication with you.
I have a cousin who was former Deputy Speaker Arthur Eve, and I told him something that I aspired, and he said, but if you didn't get it, the universe is not ready for you yet.
Yes, in so many different ways. I've experienced so much rejection along this road and trying to build Plan A Enterprises, my company, and trying to write all these books and, really trying to take my life and my career goals to the next level. And it's always been that either the timing wasn't right, I wasn't ready, and that the universe has something way better than what I even thought of or imagined.
What is the number one reason why clients have sought you out for your services?
A couple of things. I think the number one thing is it's kind of like a no-nonsense kind of approach. It is kind of what it is. I'm the expert in this, but I'm also able to be compassionate and kind of listen to the needs of the client. I have a gift beyond my academic training, a real gift of being able to see what is that one thing or a couple of things that is blocking you from fully discovering whatever it is you need to discover. If you're coming to me about a relationship, if you're coming to me about your career, if you're coming to me about, your inability to forgive someone or just feeling stuck in your life, I'm usually able to pick that one thing out. And I think it's more of a spiritual gift than an academic gift, but those two forces coming together gives me, my talent of being able to help people get to that next level.
And you know what? I could see why someone would come to you for a service. If you're someone that may not be a relative, a friend, may not be involved with them any type of way, and they can depend upon you to be objective.
Right. And a lot of people they want to go somewhere where they're heard, and a lot of times I may not agree with what people are saying, but they always have a space where they can come and say, this is who I am. Don't judge me. Can you please support me? Can you help me? But just allow me to have my moment and be who I am in this space.
And you are listening.
Yeah.
And that happens many times when you don't have someone to listen to you.
Yeah.
What is vulnerability? Why is vulnerability important along with one's journey in pursuing their Plan A?
Vulnerability, I think, is our license to be comfortable with our past, be comfortable with our present in order for any type of excelling in the future to happen. When we're vulnerable with ourselves, we're not afraid of showing not only the world, but we're not afraid of showing our higher selves, our family, our friends, our coworkers, exactly who we are. And vulnerability is kind of like that landscape, is the foundation for really being authentic. And that word is just used so much, authenticity. But when you're not vulnerable with yourself, with other people, you prohibit a lot of graces and gifts coming to you, and you're never really able to reach the highest sort of pinnacle of who you could be as a person.
Wow. Can one's Plan A change?
Absolutely. I had a client who came to me a couple years ago, and she decided to be a coach, and that's what she really wanted to do. And then later on, she said, oh, wow, I really don't want to be a coach anymore. I want to do this. But the coaching path always informs your next path. There's no mistakes in life.
Wow. Where do we purchase your books and seek out your lifestyle consulting services.
Okay, great. So you can check me out at www.planawithklay, and that's Klay with a K.com. And my books are available at Amazon.com, Barnes & Noble, as well as Smashwords.
When is your next speaking engagement? Because I know that you're a speaker.
Oh, absolutely. So on April 1st at One Spirit Alliance Learning Center in Midtown, having a speaking engagement, and the topic is Beyond the Pain, Finding Miracles and Triumphs in the Dreamer's Dilemma. So this is for the artists, the entrepreneurs, midlife crisis individuals, second career folks, anybody who's really trying to figure out what they want to do with their life.
And what are you, Klay, working on now?
I just finished a show on FYI, Married at First Sight. The first year I was a coach for one of my clients and friends on the show. And I'm doing a lot of TV appearances and kind of negotiating some things and working on my third book at this point.
Excellent. We're going to have your books on screens. Could you tell me something about the name of your first book and second book once again?
Absolutely. So the first book, There Is Only Plan A Journey Towards Self-Discovery and Renewed Purpose. And the second book is a supplement to it, 365 Plan A Nightly Meditations. It's a journal and also a meditation guide for your active purpose life.
And once again, where may we purchase your books?
You can purchase it at Amazon.com and Barnes & Noble. You can download it to your Kindle, or you can go ahead and purchase the paperback version.
And once again, if we want to seek out your lifestyle consulting service, how may we do it?
Visit www.planawithklay.com.
Klay, I must tell you, I have really enjoyed this time with you.
Thank you for having me.
It hasn't been long enough. Would you be able to come back again at another time? You have made it absolutely wonderful. You have made me feel so comfortable, and it's been absolutely wonderful with you. Yeah, I love it. Okay, is there anything you'd like to say to our audience about when you want to do something with your life?
Yeah, absolutely. I think the number one principle that I could leave is you have always been, forever will be enough.
Thank you so much. Have a very, very wonderful.
You too.